So yeah, this is my map for those who haven't seen from Nihilus. I've been playing this since March 2016, version 12.25, and it's grown ever since. I actually came and went from it several times, but I keep coming back to it. So this base produces 1,600 of each science pack, using just belts. It does it entirely with belts, just because I decided that was going to be a thing. So I've got the red belts going into the labs, and so here's all the production. So yeah, control modules, those things, science, more science, more science, engines, and military, and then it gets into the intermediates after the engines, so your military. So departing from conventional wisdom where most people ignore military, I actually went all out and did everything. So this base can do military research as well, and I've got quite far invested into the flamethrower and laser turret damage. And yeah, so believe it or not, 2 assembly machine assemblers is all that you need, but you just need a continuous stream of iron plate feeding into it. And into gears, so there's this base doesn't actually have much of a main bus, so it's sort of a 16 lane output of gears, furnaces, which just eats 3 belts worth of steel, a blue circuit processing unit production, which eats 18 belts of green circuits, speed 1 modules, those things, red circuits, 5 more outposts. And then it comes to the glorious green river of 34 belts of green circuits, which is sort of the centerpiece. And so the reason... Oh yeah, and then they're smelting here. It's split into 2 halves, the green circuits. One side is underground, the other side isn't, just to compare the active entities. And yeah, they're smelting, so there's 48 belts of copper, 56 belts of iron plate, and 8 belts of steel plate. Hey Veldic. And yeah, there's the trains that all deal with it. Originally I had 363 trains going to the unloader, but I've just started transitioning to 282s because the 3 doesn't divide down nicely into the smelters, so there's always like 1 or 2 wagons that always end up full. How do I power that belt base? So power comes from 3 to 4 sources. So there's solar field here, which accounts for the base of... It's sort of a booster supply. The original power source was this steam engine plant over here, which is currently disabled. Completely entity disabled even. Because of... just to save on UPS. This thing just sitting here doing nothing consumes about 10 UPS because of all the pipes. So I had to entity disable it. But this thing, since 15 came along, went from primary to secondary. So this was the base load for the 1 rocket per minute base in 14. And then when nuclear came along, this became less of a necessity. And so now it's powered by a bank of nuclear reactors over here. Hopefully, yeah, I got fuel again. So there's 56 reactors here, which is somewhat modest. There's a controller I made for it, which is still somewhat of a work in progress, but I think I finally figured it out. Ooh, Nihilus with his Twitch Prime sub, thank you very much. Yeah, there's something really wrong with the overlay here. I'm gonna have to have a look at that. And yeah, the thing with the trains is... Oh, Crotchety's here. Is Crotchety here with the bad jokes as well? Or the dad jokes? The Crotchety jokes? Yeah, so all of the outposts are divided up into 4 now. They used to be divided up into 3. But they now have... So each outpost has 4 trains associated with it. Or assigned to it. Only a maybe today. So you can actually see there's a repetition going all the way through. So there's 15 preset copper outposts, 15 preset iron outposts, and then 5 preset stone outposts. And you actually see, so there's no iron 8 right now, so all the trains just live here. And then I think this was iron 11, so there's no iron 11 either, so they just live here. In this system, much like if you're a Neolis streamer, dispatches trains as the wagon loads become available. There's a controller over here, which it's deceptively simple. It looks complicated, but actually there's not that much to it. It determines how much is takes how much is available, and how much, and it takes the difference between how much is in the unloader with how much the total capacity is, which is predefined by a constant combinator here, and then sends out trains accordingly. So these lights here represent how many trains it's trying to send, or up to how many trains it will send to an outpost. So iron, it needs all the iron it can get, so it's sending all 4 trains. Copper, on the other hand, it only needs to send 2 trains out to satisfy it. And then stone, it's currently sending out 2, but I think it's actually just, yeah. Because this, I converted it while it was running, so it's unbalanced now. Yeah, it's easy peasy. It took me, I actually been working on this off and on since version 13, trying to figure out how to make this work. And it's only taken until a few months ago to finally get it going. It took a lot of learning to figure out how to make all this work. But conceptually, it's actually pretty straightforward. I'm actually quite happy with the result, because it's completely insensitive to messing with the network. So you can unplug wires, reconnect wires, and it won't complain. If I go to an outpost, I was tracking down an old one. So the actual outpost is only 2 combinators and a constant to tell it what it is. Sending to multiple destinations. Well, you bring everything to one. Ah, yeah. So mine is greatly simplified by having everything concentrated in one single place, whereas if you were to send it n by m, so multiple sources to multiple destinations, the complexity increases exponentially. I think it's a factorial worth. Like planning computer at headquarters. But yeah, I wanted this thing to be as simple as I could physically make it, and it ended up being a pretty good trade-off. So it's actually, for anyone who has any kind of understanding, the system operates basically as a time division multiplexer. Yeah, mine's just bring more copper in, because it's just a many to one, so that's really straightforward, whereas, yeah, the multiple sources to multiple destinations, you got to figure out what goes where. But yeah, so for anyone who understands it, it's a time division multiplexer, and that's where it's deceptively simple. But for anyone who doesn't understand that, it's magic. These here, this thing here just lets it alternate, so you see this signal's red, and this one's green, so when the train pulls in here, it'll then switch over to this one. This one will go green, and this one will be forced red. And that this combinator here, combimaginator here, deals with that. And these two here just convert the signals for this system over to this system. Because the two are not inherently compatible. The two blueprints that I made are not inherently compatible with each other, so I had to make something to translate the two. But yeah, I think that's everything. Just looking at the oil trains do a similar sort of deal. Actually, all the oil trains are out. This is something I've noticed as well, is oil is getting dangerously low. Yeah. Speaking of dangerously low, it's a good thing gas is backed up. Where are all the oil trains? Ah. They're broken. I've seen this bug happen before. There it goes. That'll be why there's no oil. There's oil trains stuck everywhere. Can I do /time? Yeah. Oh yeah, that there is number of trains, so 180. Yes, this save has like 760 something hours. 757, so yeah, about that. I always forget slash time's a thing. So what's going on here? They're happy. The oil system, all the oil pickups have the same name, and so there's all this stack of signals here. When there's not enough oil awaiting, it turns all these signals red and tries to force the trains to go elsewhere. This was also a pre-15 where you could turn train stops off arrangement, and so there's a little reversing thing for trains to back out. So this is actually waiting for oil trains right now. Here comes one now. Had it on the mad science map? Ah, that's right, yeah. Unfortunately, because of the way the signals work, I'll turn that back on. So I needed this halfway point for the trains to pull into when they couldn't go anywhere else. And so that's why this exists. It also lets trains find this one over here, which not quite ready. I think it was 65,000 oil. Am I using any mods? I am using RSO and Smokeless. Smokeless for the UPS. RSO was what it was originally generated with. It's sort of just there for consistency. I used to get a few crashes without loading RSO, so I generally load it anyway. Hey Rose, how's it going? You also notice that I've used efficiency 3s in here. That's a legacy of the old pre-13, I think, even base. So I used to put efficiency modules in everything to minimize idle power. For my purposes, it doesn't matter, because this one's not so bad actually, because it's down to 2 a second, which is the 15 minimum. This one, on the other hand, you'll notice it's only 55 and 87 for this huge cluster. That's because they're down at 0.2, which is an old version 13 bug. So this oil patch basically is useless, so it's not worth keeping. I need to tear it up. As I can actually see, there was an oil outburst here. All those patches are only worth 67 now, because they're down to 0.2%, or 2%, which is 0.2 per second. So I just tore it up and built over the top of it. There's another one there. That's the original one. So it's down to 17, which is even lower. Hooray for bugs. But when I set the RSO up, I can't remember how I did it, but I managed to get to generate these huge clusters back in version 12. And I was like, yeah, I'll go with it. Because oil was always a pain, and I always hated the oil grind. Yeah, that one's affected. All of these are basically affected by it, so they're all useless. As I need to, I'll start moving up this way. So I keep adding train lines, they start clogging up. It's not been too bad. The automatic system actually helps with manage the traffic pretty well, and this big upgrade here, this just stupidity here, deals with a lot of the problems and a lot of the train issues. So what I'm actually, there's a lot of tracks here, but what I'm actually doing is giving them a choice of the two different directions at the same time. So there's 4 tracks going out here, and there's 2 that split off there for the stone trains. Basically, these 2 here are the 2 lanes going south at the T-junction, and these 2 lanes are going north at the T-junction. And then this one just splits out to fit either side of it. So it's technically still a 4-lane, but it's just fully spread out, just to help with the trains. So yeah, the one on the outside goes up and then down, and then this is the 2 lines here. No, these 2. And so yeah, they go up. These 2 are next to it, they go down. And then the opposite happens on the other side. So there's 2, 4 here, comes from the bottom, and then the other one comes from the top, just along here. And yeah, that just helps with the trains. Now, The next thing I want to do though is I have been calculating out what to do to go from 1 red belt to 2 red belts. And numbers are kinda stupid. Oh yeah, that's do I have... Hey, I do. There's 2 miners. Heading to bed, Neelis? Alright, let's have a good night. Should actually get onto something, because when you started it was only like 5:30 in the morning for me. It's not that early. Like, it's not ridiculous. Well, for me at least, because I like early morning. Yeah, so most of the patches are around the 6 million mark. Autosave. So like 7, 8, 5. Well, I'm down out into the band of the 6 to 8 million ores, which is a good number to be at for this sort of megabase level. Then you get further out, it says 8, 7, and I think it's up, yeah, 17's there. And so it starts getting a lot bigger out there. There should be a 7, nope. There should be like a 13 million copper somewhere. 6, as a compressed 6.2. But yeah, so purely, somewhat by accident, I managed to set up RSO back in version 12 to give me a good long play. So I'm quite happy with. 2 red belts is 80% of... Yeah, it is. It's 16... I'll give you the numbers. It's 16 lanes of steel plate. So double this. It was 96 belts of iron and 94, I think it was, belts of copper. Yeah, I generated... So this explored area is the original pollution cloud generated in version 12. It's actually a little bit better now because the dispersion changed between versions, and also since then I also increased the dispersion. I think I doubled it, the diffusion factor. Just to stop the pollution growing and growing, because it was starting to explore out here and I don't want it doing that until version 16. But, oh, actually, I never actually looked at stone. I'm going to hazard a guess that it's probably double. Let me get the thingy up. Okay. So it was 88 copper plate, 88 blue belts of copper plate. In theory, the total is 105 belts of, or 106, I think actually, blue belts of iron, but it's actually only 45 and 48, or I could just round it up to 48 and 48 for the purposes of unloaders. Steel was 16, whoops, lost it again. Yes, steel was 16, which is fairly easy to distribute. Circuits was 68 belts. You see a railway crossing, eh? Yeah, that's my standard crossing. This one here. Let's go stand in the middle. All it does is just read the signal, so the signals just output a white colour when they're idle, and it just uses colour priority. If the is ratio doesn't correctly, shouldn't it just be double everything? Kinda. I actually overbuilt this base, so there's more smelting, a lot more smelting than it needs to be, because it's built to do all 7 packs at the same time, which it doesn't actually technically need to do. Unless you follow a robot count. Got a central smelter design? Okay. That might be useful. Well, it depends on how we go. So what was advanced circuit was... I don't have it up. It was a lot though. Should have a look at Streamlabs as well. It's not beacon. Oh. They don't stop the trains? No, this thing doesn't stop trains or player from walking onto the tracks. It just tells you that there's a train coming. So, what was the electronic circuit? It was 159,000. The oil base is going to need some serious investment. Ooh, Harvey UK with a host. Thank you very much. Something's going up with Streamlabs at the minute, unfortunately, so there'll be no... so the overlays aren't working. Then you're like, yeah, this one does 105 blue belts are fine. So 36,000 steel play, 31,000 advanced circuits, that's the one. Which I kind of want to bump up a little bit. Because I think... was it 31043? It is 12.9. Well, what I should do is push the button. So you can see this thing. I'll just do a double take just to make sure nothing is open that's... shouldn't be. Yeah, 31043. 31043, well 0.27 as well. When I was doing the original one, I actually rounded a few of them up just so I could do like modules on the side. Because that's what I did with the original rocket base, was it was made to do 1 rocket a minute or some level of modules a minute. I can't remember what it was now. Hey guys, fun. You even min-max the game. I don't 100% min-max it. Maybe max the performance. Actually, has it been... yeah, it's low, a little bit low. The rocket control unit is actually falling behind at the minute. Yeah, these are almost out of space packs. You can see the control units is barely getting up. The speed module is barely getting up, so these, for the most part, aren't running. I think it's a red circuit's problem. Once you get to needing space science, you might as well leave your base and start again. Nah. Oh yeah, I gotta double this too. That's... we'll see. I like to get at least as far as redoing smelting. Making sure I've headached everything out correctly. Yeah, I think this was still red circuits. It was always a bit marginal. It's looking a little bit empty, but it might be, yeah, it's just barely grabbing in time. Yeah, that one's stopped. Someone was asking about UPS on Reddit, and they were running quite a few mods, and I'm fairly certain I heard that Bottleneck mod was actually a big performance hog. Hey, Bobbus. Going to go for robot speed 18. Given the... I don't think I have the command available, actually. It's too far in the history. Given the time it will take, it's probably easier just to start now. Because that's 4,096,000... 4 million? Yeah, 4,096,000. So that's quite a whiles away. It's like a week at this pace. And loading into 16 is a one-way trip. Bottleneck is the one taking the most cycle for sure. Interesting. Has to ping all the machines per whatever tick. Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I actually never had the need to run bottleneck mod. Bottleneck is useless. Yeah, that's that's sort of what I was alluding to, because you can just do that, and you can see the animation. I know the machine's pausing because it's doing the 14-15 thing because of the 1-to-1. Ooh, Fallen Sun with the auto host. I'll try the Streamlabs thing again. Just leave that there. Hey, there's life in it again. It actually opens. Let's see, alert box. Raids enabled. Bits, hosts, donations, subscriptions, follows, general. Ooh, Shred Guy with the auto host as well. Yellow state is misleading. Yeah. So why aren't you working? Wouldn't differentiate between blocked by output and blocked by input while still something in the output. Ah. I would imagine things like needing the fast inserter bottleneck is not very good at differentiating at too, because that one can be very subtle to find and fix. Let me just do one poking thing. Yeah, drive. There we go. What do we got? Let's see. DJ Flippy, the Theory 888, the Apple Master, Daimyo, Exus. These are all follows. Floixino, Snack Master Flex, Scooterio, and Drive 137. All those, thank you for the follows there. Unfortunately, the alert box is not working. Advantage the bottleneck. I've never really had that problem here. Usually I can tell straight away, although it's probably different for belts than bots. Bots might be a bit trickier. And then again, I've never really had much of a problem. Like, I know that's a copper wire machine, even though it's not doing anything. And generally it's like, I know these ones generally don't run all the time because it's actually overbuilt. Because I know the numbers, I generally know where the problems always lie. And I can tell generally by looking like... it's actually doing... Oh, there's the odd gap in the plastic, so something's wrong with plastic. Yeah, there's a fairly regular gap in plastic from this horrible thing, presumably. I think this might be another benefit from 282. Next part needs set up for my bases, oil products, batteries and like, which is going to be annoying because oil is behind smelting. Slightly tempting to train it down to where it needs to go on the bus. You say that as if it's a bad thing. I've seen Root and Madzuru do ship plastic like that before. Batteries for me is actually just in there. I was about to point at smelting. This thing just eats acid, believe it or not. It's the things you do to get it onto the other side. Main beginner mods you recommend is Evo and Yarm. I hope develops a sense of timing. Which one was Yarm? I used to use Evo GUI a lot. Ah, you're out of plastic. Ah. Let's go over the 1 hour. Ah, 23, 26. Plus, so oil base is falling behind. Hey, a letter. Ah, that's the one that gives you information on patches. So you've got the max available. You're 10, you're 11. Interesting. 24,000. 24? Yeah, that's right. I wonder if it's running out of coal. Yeah, the oil base for me is just a more conventional arrangement. Yet another resource monitor, that's the one. Acid's okay. Petroleum gas is okay. Bots. Yeah, I didn't want to do the oil base with belts, just to save on UPS, unfortunately, because that would create quite the complicated bottleneck of stuff and things. It's a technical term. Drain it out. Ooh, there's a train over here. They're actually using that train, the thingy finally. This thing, you actually tell by the inserters, it's been there since version 12. There's so little information on the sidebar, because none of it carries through. There's no owner or anything. What does it just say? Health, logistic bots. What else? It's normally pretty full, isn't it? Yes, it doesn't have the last user. Have to give to the devs in Factorio saves, work from older versions since the games. Start all over again every... yes, like RimWorld. See, this thing's still having that problem. 6, 10, 7, and yeah, 12, of course. Far end, just not winning. Yeah, the best place to put stone smelting is near production signs. I'm gonna push the test button. Follow. Hey, there we go. It's interesting, there's no chat overlay too. Hey, Liquid Media, how's it going? Hey, Gear with a host. Thank you very much. And thank you for demonstrating that the thingy down here and the thingy up here actually works finally. How is it? Pretty good. 101, it says 104 now. So, oop, there's a train there. Alright, so I'm going to want to start shutting this place down. Hey, can with 5 bits. Just testing. Could it be better to have the lane only go to the far end? Screen was at 101 the whole time. I should say the dashboard lies. It just says whatever the hell it feels like saying. It doesn't in any way reflect what the numbers actually are. Like it says 106, it might as well be the square root of -1. Bitboss bugged? Probably. Skyla 80, thank you for the follow there. I found turning them off and on again generally fixes it. Yeah, there it goes. It's got the text. Oh, there it is. Imaginary viewers like our friends. Hello, train. Ooh, Boas with the host. Everyone's gone for the host now. I actually swear, like, a few months ago, you could accumulate nightbots from all the hosts. And auto-host again. Thank you. But yeah, this needs some sort of halfway point. That's what I'm thinking. So you're 8, 7, 6. What I'm thinking is, because I'm probably going to need to expand the length of that as well. What I might do is leave that for now. So what I'll do is I'll start with this melting expansion. Then I can see how much space I need to expand the yard by. So I'm going to need more outposts for sure. I'm probably going to need 20 or 30. 30 multiplied by 4 is a lot of trains. 2 tracks first half. I did have that before, and it was a bit of a problem. It's cool what I have now, half. I think for copper it's not so bad, but for iron more so. So I want to turn this thing off. So now everyone, once they finish unloading, will just return home. Apparently, it's still refreshing. There it goes. What was the point of the base before 15? It was basically a 1 rocket per minute base, just to launch rockets. It was also, before that, before I was doing the 1 rocket a minute seriously, I was also just making modules for the hell of it. So I think I made like 10,000 of every module by 13 came around. Or through 13, when 14 came along. I can't remember which exactly. And that's partly why I have so many efficiency modules, because I just made them for the hell of it. I also used to use efficiency ones on mining. Hey, Ladder with a resub. 5 months already. Jeez, for whatever reason, just keep coming back. That's good. 1 million module per min base. Oh dear. That's 900 and something green circuits per module. I think. Or was it 400 something? Yeah, 13-14 wasn't much of a change. The big change actually, oh, depends if you where you played the game. Because I was big on multiplayer back then. Not so much now actually, but it was a big deal to suddenly be able to play multiplayer and not have it choppy and horrible. But yeah, I'd already thought of doing like the close ones here and the far ones up there. There's a reason it's... I found just giving them all paths just works out better. What I want is just a space where the trains can pull into, sort of like a refuge in between, so break it up into a smaller junction. Ultimately, that's the better way to do it, is to break it up into smaller chunks. Because this is a big, huge train junction. Smackmaster Flex. Your other new player, why do the aliens not spawn in open areas? MP, but I only want... Yeah, that's right, so you wouldn't have felt the change nearly as much. See, yeah, because anyone playing serious about multiplayer would have noticed straight away. So, inside here, biters can't actually get because of wall and dividing wall. This wall actually went up in version 13. It was basically me cutting them off as quickly as possible because I used to use victory poles. And so for anyone who doesn't know victory poles, there was a thing before version 13, so back in version 12, whenever you defeated a biter base, to stop them coming back, you'd put down a wooden chest. And that would... So whenever you had a player created object placed down, it would prevent biter expansion within a 4-chunk radius of it. So if you put it down on the base, it guaranteed that they would never come back. And then there was a debug overlay, which still exists, but it's changed a little bit. And it was called the green circles, which is enemy expansion chunks. And this debug menu is bring up by pressing F4. So I turn this on, and so in version 12 you'll see only these green circles. And so everywhere the green circles existed, it was a valid place that they could expand to. It's still true now, but it's now, instead of just green circles, you also have red. And now it's a graded probability. So green means 100% chance, effectively, and then yellow, not so much, to red, which means no, we can't expand there. That's the only reason to build wooden chests. To be fair, I actually used railway track and power poles and whatever I could find lying around occasionally. There might be odd stone furnace too. As far as expansion goes, I eventually got tired of it and I actually turned it off in the end just to save UPS, because having them hard up against the wall was a problem, and I was getting like the world's biggest blob of biters building up just here. And so biters don't consume a lot of UPS on their own. Active attacks, which are stuck, are what really starts to consume UPS, because they're constantly trying to figure out how to attack, but they're stuck, so they can't. And so there was this huge blob of attacks here, just consuming like 10 UPS, because they couldn't get through. It was like a few hundred attacks at least, and there was a few, so these used to be right up hard against the wall, and there were more attacks stuck. Like there was a huge attack stuck in here, which was another 10 UPS. How many expansion chunk candidates tell you ahead of time? So when the game decides to start expanding, you'll see a circle start flashing, and that means a expansion party is being created and sent to that point. So if expansion is on, you'll see a circle somewhere flash. Oh yeah, and there's another wall down here. Also, I just pushed them back a little bit for the same reason. This one, they were actually expanded so close to the wall that the base was just outside of turret range. So there used to be flame turrets here, and they were just outside of flame turret range. I got rid of the flame turrets for UPS reasons again. It was cool in 13 and 14 when I first got them. You can actually see these are burnt out trees from it. But the UPS cost was just too great to keep them. Yeah, there's a few burnt forests from it. Used to be an iron patch there. Once upon a time. But yeah, there was somewhere, I think, around here where the base was so close that one attack would then trigger the base, which they would trigger the turrets, which would trigger the base and turrets and base and turrets, and it just infinitely, until it eventually ran out of biters. It's the Mexico-America border? Not really. It's not deserty enough, or not whatever climate is there. This would be the Great Wall of China then, I guess. Keep those pesky Mongols out. What do we got going on here? Ah. Your orders are different. No, they weren't. I'm just dumb. Yeah. Ah, yes. That was the signal that was missing all this time. Were you ever considering covering the lake? No. The lake is a feature. It's mandatory to have the lake. I did start painting the ocean here and filling it in for the nuclear. Maybe the odd water fill here and there. This is going to need to be bigger. And by which I mean I'm going to have to turn this up a little bit. I suppose I'll turn the circles off. So now I'm just waiting. Now just really just need to wait for the base to drain. While that's going on, I think I have it here. Yep, there it is. I actually optimized the steel blueprint, so I actually saved a tile. A 300,000 science have been a base with unique personal builds and decorations the coolest. That's actually where I think Infinite Science is going, rather than just going just stupidly big in 16. It's more about doing something unique and interesting. Having said that, I've done enough with the one red belt, so I want 2 red belts now. And it also helps fix some of the little nagging issues. Particularly with the iron plates there, some of the belt routing's pretty terrible. And because it's been chopped and changed so much, it's become a bit of a problem. The science pack belts could be a lot better because it does quite the little snaky snake. Like high-tech comes out there, goes all the way down, back, up, there. It's an interesting way to go. And that, and I also just want this to be bigger. So, this thing. So it's 45, not counting, or counting all those, it's 45. It's actually interesting. The green science takes 1 entire belt just for inserters. Transport belts are half. What else took yeah, took one of those of gears. Just don't get how you keep track of everything in that factory. Yeah, it does get to be tricky. There are little bits that I couldn't tell you what each of these individual belts do without staring at it for like 10 minutes. But for the broad overall, I can generally follow what's going on. It's mainly because I had to sit down and figure it all out by hand. So like a lot of this, I couldn't even tell you how it came about. Like, a lot of this was just craziness. Turning biters off and doing 4,000 science 60 years would be, with the best builds designed by the best team, would be awesome, but I don't want to live there. Yeah, like mad science. As soon as we built it and turned it on, it ran for a little while. It was like, yep, it's done. What next? So what? I don't care anymore. Because it just worked. Hand forest cleaning. That's why I like this base, because it's got all the different power generations, because I don't want to just fix myself to one. It's got an interesting train controller system. Does everything with belts, which is a bit different. The train control for the coal trains is actually different again. It's not the same as... It actually also uses coal mine load for all of them, and then figures out where to go just by some dumb smarts, which is similar to the oil system I described. And yeah, it's all very interesting. I have an insane factory. That too, because you don't see this very often. Nobody does, like, a red belt of each science pack. I don't know if anyone has actually done anything near the same scale. What's the biggest patch of resource I'm mining? Probably these three, 1.5, oh, not anymore, actually. Maybe the six, probably 6 is about the biggest, but they're dwindling. Yeah, 6.4, so there's still 12, over 12, 13 there. Difference between this and mad science is I'm willing to rip things up and improve them. There is that too, that element. Mad science also had a lot of tinkering for the sake of tinkering. People kept saying this thing's not working, that thing's not working, when it was not actually the case. So people were venturing solutions to problems that don't exist, so there was a lot of tail chasing. These are depleting miners fairly quickly. Might as well reclaim them. $26 is a pretty good result. Hey, wee splat. Wee splonk. I suppose technically the most dense patch should probably be this one. At 2.6 million, although down here is a pretty healthy contender. Oh, it's down to 2.2. I think it was 3 originally. It's actually finished a miner. Not to be outdone, I think this coal patch over here was the most dense patch out of them all. It was basically no bigger than that coverage, and it was like 4 million. There were multiple tiles of like 1.1, 1.4 million coal. I'm not sure how it got so compressed. Coal on this map is actually really funky. It's very compressed. Like there's 1.8 and it's really tiny. I thought I gave myself lots of coal. What was that? 4.7, 6.1, 5.6. Because I intended on following in Colonel Will at the time by doing the no solar thing, which I sort of relaxed myself on. It's 5.4 on a tiny patch. How's mining prod doing? What's it? 211. Which isn't too bad. I'm not feeling mining strain at all anymore. I probably will once I finish upgrading. Probably the first thing I should do is redo the unloaders. So the first thing I want to do is go from 4 belts to 8 belts on the unloaders. Yeah, 211. So also, we're at robot speed 17, so bots are quick. Follow robot 25. I actually use follow robot to just stop science normally. What else are we at? 17 and 16 on those, which are not small researchers on their own. The flame damage and the laser damage. I can tell you, this one, 17, took a while. But finally got there. Okay. Ah, there it is there. Mining logistics network connected? No. So, if I turn on the overlay, there we are. That's what you'll see. Well, some of the patches, like this one, it's 3 patches all joined together to cover 2 loaders. There's actually a gap there. Huh. But it doesn't touch the touch the chests. Yeah, if I was to join all these together, that would be bad. Very bad. This one, there's supposed to be 2 networks, but they're kind of joined. It's actually kind of meant to be 3 networks. No, 2, because it's meant to be plastic, the oil base, and then that thing, whatever that is, rocket fuel. The network does extend down here, but it's not actually supposed to. I put it there just for assisting with construction. One mining drill can keep an 8.8 electric furnace running at that mining. That's a lot. The solar field has its own robo network as well. I don't think... Yeah, I removed it from this one once I built it. But that's the old blueprint. The old Mark III, which there's nothing inherently wrong with it, apart from the fact some are rotated. But I did update it to this one, which is a little bit nicer because it makes better use of the... overlaps the roboports more, which isn't a bad thing. It helps with charging, but it also makes better use of the substations, which is a more important factor. But entirely separate logistics, so we just handle nuclear stuff, wire up the chest. Take an inventory at a glance, mousing over the medium electric pole. Oh yeah. Yeah, I only got a tiny little network here, and it's just for doing the enrichment and fuel handling. Speaking of, how's plate doing there? Now... you. There we go. I'll just get it over there because sometimes the train it's stopped again. There's a condition where this train just gets stuck. It's really annoying. What's the production table look like? This thing? Hey, I'm at 1.1 gig on the copper wire now. It's actually surprisingly low, but it doesn't count version 12 production. So I end up with this unique condition where even though I have this huge belt base, I've only ever produced 56 express splitters and 56 oil refineries, even though I have a lot more than 56 on the map. And 54 wooden chests, even though you can probably find more than double that just sitting on the map. Like the Nixie Tubes mod when I want to display numbers. Nixies are nice. I had thought about setting them up, Adding the mod. Now what is it here? There's 36 there as it is. Maybe... Oh no, there's 72 in the just in the storage. I'm pretty sure in the old base I had 2 banks of 96 oil refineries. How are we at? Still chugging along at 1.6. Oh, this there, hurry up and empty. Steel's, yeah, getting there. How is circuits? Circuits are starting to thin out because the iron plate's starting to thin out. You've been doing SpaceX. Ooh. SpaceX is fun the first time. Maybe the second time, but after that it loses its edge. What I might do... It's a sad river. I'm thinking I might send the iron trains out for another ring just to help empty out copper, because iron's gonna run out long before copper. And I don't want a storage full of plate. What are we at even? Yeah, a lot of these are full. Oh, let's see the total. So there's still 800,000 copper plate. Yeah, it's not emptying anytime soon. Oh, I'm at the steel. I need to go back here. I'm probably going to need more tracks for the unloader too. So, I'll unplug those. I'm going to send them manually. I don't want to send the by controller. Because it'll just send all of them. Which will end up with too many. Try that. Where are you going down there? Oh, they're all going down to here. Here. Yeah, 13, 14 and 15 are all here. Hey, another mine is done. Be careful because this one's actually logistics connected, so it always tries to mine up to 60,000. Something I should start doing more. I would add the auto deconstruct, but I do actually need to do it manually in case I want to re-drill. You actually, as far as the plates go, they're basically the same. So you need significantly more iron because you need iron for steel, but as far as iron plate to copper plate goes, they're nearly identical. Part of it is the consumption difference. It's something like 45, 55, or I think it was. Well, if I go to here, I need 93 belt versus 88. 93 iron, 88 copper. Although I'm going to make that one 48. So 96 to 88. which is 11 unloaders, because I want 8 belts per unloader now. Back now with more coffee? Oh yeah. So... Although, I wonder if I could do everything at once. What do you do? 2.5? Turrets needs 10 belts of... 10 belts of... you are... That? Is it? 107.5. What we'll do is give you just 3. Round it up. Most of these are rounded up already. So that's 60 belts. So I need a 64 lane balancer. Someone noticed. You get 5 internet points for noticing that I did that. Yeah, so this is the tab for the SICK current base. And this isn't even comprehensive. Because I think circuits is inaccurate. But yeah. I don't think I've done, no, I haven't done those yet even. Let's see. So 64. Pipe needs basically 2 belts worth. You're just a random 9. What is it? 6, 8 to 48. So there's 6 train unloaders. Does that affect something there? I just saw this update, that's all. I thought I saw it change. Settling HK Corp taxes. Done for another year. It's pretty bad when you need a spreadsheet for a game. Maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. So that was the original number of unloaders I needed for the old base. Want to do 3200 with belt? Yeah. The UPS in, because apparently this is nearly like 55, 60 in 16, so I need to go bigger. This is going to take a while to build. This is going to take weeks. 64 belt balance, never thought you'd hear that. So that... The advantage of this using a 64 is it means I get a little bit left over and a little bit of breathing room. Apples forever! Thank you for the follow. So, what was it, 6? I'll make that 56, so I'll add another unloader to it. It's a little bit over. So 56 and 60. Yeah, I'm gonna have to track that balancer down. I've got this 32 lane one from Hoffney. Oh. Yes, 160. Just drop that by 8. No. Yeah, it needs to be 64. So 15 unloaders total, plus another 4 or 8 for Glacius. Thank you for the follow there too. Another 8 for steel. Or whatever it is. A lot, basically. I'll probably make Steel, stay with the slower unloads. So, copper plate to circuits 84. Equal that on A was... No, 88 of course. So it needs 11 unloaders on its own. Oh wait, no. No. Where are we at? Green circuits. It's 52. That's, yeah, because it should be 56. Was that G? 16 on 8. So let's add up everything else. So we add up those two. It's 36. It's 41. That's better. There. So 92 total. And that's up to... Oh, I just did the same thing twice, actually. Makes atomic bomb. Yeah, I have a 32 lane balancer on the iron plate already. So I'm going to need to expand that to a 64. There's a 16 on the copper plate. That'll need to be a 632 at least. Not going. It has to be a 36 actually. Yeah, because red's... Although red circuits I don't think probably needs it. What I might do is combine red circuits and greens into one, their own group. So that's 51 total. What's that? 65. Ooh. What's that? 64 point... Aww. Aww. It's so close. Oh well. So it's just one belt short. That's sad. So sad. Occupying your iron deposits. Oh yeah, you gotta liberate them. Liberate them iron deposits. Let's see. Still chugging along. It's down to 600 though, so I'm up to 40 UPS. Yeah, it's still chugging away. I think most of these are empty now though. Oh no, there's one still going. It's just happily unloading. Oh, that's a filter inserter. How's steel? Steel is empty. There's probably quite a few. No, there isn't. Yeah, there's the iron plate. How are we doing on the old copper department? Still 551. Alrighty then. Drop iron's supposed to be first. Damn me and my inconsistency. I do like how so many trains can all escape at the same time. MRV is fun, too bad it's awful for UPS. Steel's more important than preserving biters. So, how can we get around this? 1 over. Note to self, don't hold a cigarette lighter upside down. Oh dear. So you have 36. What is actually adding those? How about now? 22. So 24, I could put that on. Without red circuits. And with... 36. So the other thing with this is belts tapping off going out to it. It's like I could use the actual 5.5 and such to bring it down, but it'll only take me so far. Could you just one belt that is not in the 64? Someone's making a Mathematica Factorio calc sheet. Oh dear. Mathematica calc sheet. Tapping off odd unloaders causes balance problems. Because you want the trains to do the balancing. And so if you do rebalancing after it, it screws it up. I used to do it and had a lot of problems with it. So... yeah, 22. I might actually be able to make a thing out of that. You 4, 5. I wonder what the sum of these two is. This is a lot of what the original was. The original base. It's a lot of... oops. 9.4, eh? So that's 10. Because in theory, these two, because they're near each other, they could share. Could share. If I send 10 belts that direction. The problem is doing split-offs for uneven numbers are weird. Doing integer bin packing, yes. Yes. Uh... 40? Alright. Gotta delete that. 34.4. Dropped a little bit. Which one's this one? Support me on Patreon. Yep. It's similar to the Imgar one, basically, but it does have nuclear and a few other things. So it's a bit more thorough. It actually is more thorough. Hey Fanyu, how's it going? Where's the... Why are you being so difficult? Anyway. Streamlabs problems. So... 36 is kind of inconvenient. Heading to bed actually since 1 AM. Oh, so soon. Nice playing Minecraft with frames. Item frames? Oh wait, the or the movement thingy frames. I never actually played with the movement frame things. Or was it movement frame? I genuinely can't remember now. I just remember you could do something frames lets you make a piston machine which could move through air. FPS. Since when does Minecraft have an FPS? It's a slideshow. Always been a slideshow. Now. So those two are 65. Just that tiny bit inconvenient. I can. Still a thing. Slimebox pistons, which creates flying machines. That's the one. I remember there was these machine frames of some description. I think it was the red power frames which let you do that. That might be what I'm thinking of. Death by PowerPoint show of 2 bread belts of each science pack. I'm actually recording this too. So let's make you back to 56. Make you 14. And this can be 36. Solar's 0.7. Battery is so close to 1 it has to be 1. But this 36 is a problem. In saying that, I think... Ooh, 60. Yeah, I gave them their own dedicated unloads anyway. So it's all good. What are we at? 433k. Ah, yeah, this thing's kicked in. Now. Actually, what are you... Just untick that. Whee! So smooth, so buttery. It's nice when this map gets to the high UPS. Red power. Another, yeah, red power's long gone. So I could give those, what is it, 16. Uh, 16, 56. There. It's 94. That number there actually confirms it. Divided by 8. So you need to be rounded up to 24. So now we have 96 belts total. I think that's just went round in circles to eventually come back to 96. So 96 blue belts of copper is 12 unloaders, pushing out 8 belts of ore. And was it really 120? 120 belts of iron plate. New Direwolf 20 pack will be out soon? Ooh. I've never actually looked at the... I know he's been a bit around, but I've never really looked into his pack, actually. I should actually one day. Having said that, I tend to avoid YouTuber packs. I know a few others have put them out, and the biggest problem I had with them was they were never maintained. It was, you know, play along with this some derp series. Okay. She says 64, why? Let's do you. Add you, you're that's why you're 64. So you're 64 and 56, which is 120, which is 15, okay. Already completed the new Direwolf 20 pack. Didn't know, yeah, there's a shaded 5x5 box around it. I don't know if I have a No, I don't have one on me, unfortunately, so I can't show you. But yeah, you see a highlighted box around it, and that's its coverage range. Whee, so smooth. Where's a mining drill? Yeah, so there's this little shaded area around it. That's what it's for. I notice high-tech and fraction over a full belt. You rounded them up. If you combine them, you're under 64. Okay. Let's have a look. So, what was it? High-tech and low density. Low density, high-tech. Yeah, that one might be tricky, but we'll see what we can do. And something new. Chat, stop scrolling there for a second. I think it didn't actually gain anything from memory. Because I did that before, so it was 9.4, which is 9.5. Let's try that again. There, 27. 36. Need 128 lane balance of iron. I actually only need a 64. Because I don't need a balancer on circuits. As far as circuits go, I actually want to use the same build again. So, it was actually only 60 lanes. It's actually like that, 60, which is 64. Rounded up. That's the other thing with the belts, is it does need a little, bit of oversupply and over smelting. You can't match one-to-one perfectly with belts. That's why I'm worried about red science. What exactly one belt going in? Yes, that's 9.4, which is still essentially 10. Because you can't have 9.4 of a belt, because it's 5, which is 6. Hang on. 5. Wait a minute. — 5.3, which is 6. Oh, yeah, it's 11. When it only needs 10. No, you are correct. Can you post a link? Yes, and she's all over it. Yeah, it's 10 when it's combined, so yeah, it was stream delay. Alright, let's check this picture out. Shit's rather than I'm getting iron or stone to my base. Iron? And there you are, way down there getting stone. Is that that's a serious RSO map going on there. You really actually don't have much in the way of resources to pick up. That's the only patch of iron that's actually visible on that link. That is not an easy spawn. Getting stoned. Oh dear. Yes, that brings it down to 10. Oh, that brings that up to 37. But, damn it. So it's 35. It's still bigger than 32. How's that? 21. Didn't realise how bad this resource was. It's interesting an RSO on Railworld settings did that. Although RSO is affected by the generation settings globally. You can actually change the map settings if you need to. Yeah, so you're 21. I might make a partial balancer that's 24. Why is it 21 actually? 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. There you go. It's 8, 9, 10. I can't see a way of reducing it any further. That, no matter what, we'll take it up to 36-ish. Actually, did I do a partial balance? Yeah, I did actually here. Let's see. So 1, 2 are actually part of the balancer. Okay, maybe there is potential in it. I'll make it 14. Let's get rid of you. So that is 35 overall. Actually, let's drop that. Oh, actually, no. I need to know the numbers. So, was it 32 becomes 40? No matter what. Because I need the next highest multiple. Like Green Circus needs to be the number of belts needs to be divisible by 8. Like so. So it's 7 unloaders just for green circuits. With RSO bars you can just run around. Oh yeah, they're so weak. That's what these bases are like. It's one of the things I actually didn't like about this map was the RSO biters. But there was no default vanilla spawn generation at the time when I started playing it. It's just the total builds. $37. I can send 14 there. And then 2 more to the elsewhere land. And what's that, 72? Okay, that makes sense. So 7 unloaders for that, 9 unloaders for the rest. Which is, I can make that 2 banks of 8 and 8. One of the unloaders half does, or a bit does, the rest of the base, the rest does red circuits. So 14 out of 16. I can I can live with that. Alright. Let's just boldify those. Yeah, so there's 120 belts, of which 64 for the base, and 56. And there. So 8 and 7. Open registering setting Factorio analyses a spreadsheet, aka Factorio. Yeah, currently right now we're planning out the next phase of the base. Cheery song this? Yeah, it is, isn't it? There's some pretty terrible songs in this playlist. Let's try that. One before it wasn't terribly cheery either. Okay. We know what we need. Now we've got to go execute it. Speaking of, how is this doing? 300. Apparently it's got 2.4 in the unload still. Where? Kill, murder, death, chill. MDK, that was a game once upon a time. Send some more trains around. Send them to the actual unload. Or send them to the outpost, not the unload, I mean. And hopefully this will get some more of the iron ore, copper ore down. It's actually an easy way to send trains. Your Bob's Angel Base? This is beautiful. Oh, you're about to see something even more magical. Because it's about to get torn down. Yeah, I'm sending all the trains manually like a spanner. And I can just where is one? There. Shia. Oh, base is so quiet. Oh, the map's so quiet now. What's the time usage at? 8. That's how quiet it is. 8. That's pretty low. For this map. All things considered. So let's have a look at this picture-rooney of the Bob's Angels base. There's a lot of belts going on there. Module factory. Built on top of rubite by the look of it. Or is it bobmonium? I can't remember what the red one was. Rubitite? Then 6060. Red is rubite. That's the one. A lot of belts, yeah. This, how much does it have? It has, 73,000 I can deal with. Train. Already back. I need to modify these so it distributes better. Currently it tends to miss the end one. I also need more tracks. I could probably benefit from like 6 or 8 tracks going across. How will I achieve that? I don't know yet. Oop, incoming. Is that a coal train? No, it's acid. These are supposed to be here for 9 seconds, but I feel like they were here a bit longer. You seeing plate yet? Do I have a favourite mod? Not so much. I can't think. Well, creative mode would be up there because I really do like using that to test designs out. As far as utility mods, Smokeless is good. But yeah, as far as gameplay mods go, creative, it'd be one of my favourites. Although it's technically still kind of a utility mod. Ooh, delicious circuits coming soon. RSO, yeah, that'll be a good one. That'd be up there. I very rarely play without RSO. I would say SpaceX, Space Extension, but I've played that so many times now it's sort of lost its edge. LTN? I notice that LTN's very popular these days. I've given it a go, but I do struggle comprehending it. Although I have a feeling it does a better job than Smart Trains. Soy-kits, precious soy-kits. It's interesting the end ones started moving first. Oh wait, yeah, because it converges into the center, and then these two on the very end. So I just changed this compression algorithm. Although I did turn the bitrate down a bit. But with LTN you can't have station name the same. Green River's been damned. There's a solid belt coming through of iron, so I should be able to get pretty close to filling it. Bottom's not getting as much though. Yeah, all four are getting it. We'll see. The Green River, yeah. Can't wait for the new and improved Green River. Oh yeah, I think I changed the profile level. I had it on high before and I think that was causing problems. High is less compatible, or high profile is less compatible with some players. Green goes up, UPS goes down. Can't explain that. It's only a tiny change. I'm going to leave the screen there for a minute. I need to go take a bathroom break, so I'll be back in just a moment. Hey, it actually filled! Well, that's... oh, it's down to 19. Yeah, 100 might be a bit much. So, what is it? These are 40 per second. There's 1,000, apparently, belt tiles there. We'll just say 1,000 belt tiles. Actually, sitting on a belt normally is like 6. Yeah, so 6,000. Yeah, 20,000, 10 to 20,000 isn't far off. I think it was about 6 sit on a belt, 1 tile of belt. So yeah, I'd believe that. I think it's dropping frames, is it? Oh, apparently I've done 96. Interesting. I'll have to look at encoding settings again. Let's see. It's empty again. Except for that mysterious 2.4K. Oh, there's a chest that can't unload somewhere. I know. Yeah, there's a chest that's not wired up properly. Yep, there it is. It's right in front of me even. Interesting, it's just highlighting there for no reason. Alright, so... let's go over to steel. Oh, the first thing I want to do is move the base to the left a little bit, because this awkward cramped space here is no good. I don't like this. So let's fix this first. With a bit of old deconstruct. So do a bit of that, and a bit of that, and a bit of that. So we're draining the base for a rebuild of double capacity? Yes. So now it's time. Let's do it. Actually want that. Not that it matters. There. And then there. And then... there. Not there. There. There we go. So... first... yeah, it's gonna double it. Let's put you... doubling the base so we can prepare for the next doubling. Of course. It's going to take quite a while to do the build anyway. I wouldn't be surprised if I finish this rebuild before 16 comes out. So I can send the base to RC and the devs and be like, this base is too slow, and then delay 16. Why do you go for 2 red belts? There's quite a... no. Quite a difference going on there. Okay, so that combination was actually impossible. How about you? Is practical. It's not the prettiest combo. You're 2 across. It's about there. Yeah, it doesn't quite match up with that. Also, hi Sam Amanda. Hope 16 comes out soon. It's probably a few months off. I'm starting to think February. I was thinking December originally, but I'm thinking it's quite a ways off now. So, how about there? No, we already tried that one. Of course it doesn't work. In fact, before I get too carried away, I might just replace the unload. Because that's the first... Whoops. Just munch up a random bit of the floor there. "16 by 16 base is still 60/60. Ugh, there's a lot of yelling going on there. This song's not terribly upbeat either. It's not supposed to be like chill, yeah. It doesn't exactly represent the community that I chose very well. The bot speed. Yeah, it's pretty fast. Could always elongate this a little bit. Like so. What's the speed at? So currently, the bot speed's currently not wise to choose music from Shred. Yeah, this was his suggestion. I think it gets better further down. Yeah, so I'm currently at 17, so I'm at plus 1020 on the movement speed. Now. That heat coming out of my PC now. Just thought of a great research bot chart. Everyone suggests that one. NG is onto something there with at least when he plays the AC/DC, I think it was, on the end of his streams, which isn't exactly the most tasteful band. AC/DC really only had their they've sort of been running off their initial success because they did. It was after the split up they became a bunch of sellouts basically. That's the short end of what I'm saying. Basically just a bunch of sellouts now, and they just try and continuously replay or all their songs are the same, and they're just rehashes of the original thing that made them popular. That gargling sound that they call singing. Who were they? So when AC/DC split up in like 1981 or something, I can't think of who re-signed them, but the studio was basically, they lived for making cash cows out of bands. It was their sole function in life. Now, I need an unloader. Much like that one, actually. But not exactly like that one, because that's obsolete. So let's make a new one. Alrighty. So we want that. And we want it, let's put the stop over the stop. There. So we'll cover a few bases at once. So we'll get the, I'll have to pull that up. This can go as well. Come on, body booze. Train stop. Drop iron. Drop that iron. You go there, to there, to there, to there. Nope, not there. There. And there. There. And yeah, I thought so. Sorry, we're unable to connect to chat. Please, retrying in 2 seconds. Always happens. Oh, gotta be careful of this. The number of signals has to be equal. So, unable to connect to chat. Oh, so annoying. Let's try refreshing. Hello, bot. Alrighty. Yeah, GG Twitch. There we go. Thing is, no drop frames, no interruption in the stream, just chat. Chat just doesn't want to work. Alright, so far as this is concerned, no, I don't want to replace the underground belt with fish. There. So you combine. In fact, let's pull the whole lot up. Get rid of this silly belt weave. So you go there. Well, in saying that, it could go there. There was a Twitch staff in Fallen Sun's stream yesterday. Could complain to them about it. What's the plan for this base going forward? Doubling. I don't know after that, though. So 1, 2, 3, 4. You go there to there. To there. Then you go there. Let's say you do something like that. Which then arrives there. Yeah, more faster. More pasta. I gotta... Oh, that can go. Actually want to double everything? Yeah, why not? In the absence of anything else to do. I've sort of reached the limit of what's really... what I can really do on this map. So it's time to double it. So I want that. So there. Shouldn't type when drunk. Yeah, so it's a good life rule. Never type when drunk. Or stoned. So 1, 2, 3, 4, they combine, then it super combines to there. Then we get there. Wait a minute. It's Monday and you're drunk. It's true, good point actually. It's actually Tuesday right now. So I actually wanted 8 coming out, so I need both belts. So it needs to actually come out to there. Monday's the best day to drink. Interesting. You go there. And there. If I do that, I do save a belt. There. Play some Witcher 3 to finish the stream. I should get back to that, eh? Well, there's probably another hour at least worth going on here. To finish up this, and then I might hit up Witcher 3 maybe next time. It's been a long time. I actually saw a piece of Witcher 3 on Nimgar earlier. Yeah, so that's what I want. So I want 4 belts coming out, so 8 total. What is the UPS? That's updates per second, so how fast the game simulation is updating. Which conveniently right now is at 60. Which means it's running at full speed. Earlier it was running at 25, which is less than half. Yeah, that. Nightbot has the answers now. So now I need to do the opposite. There. I might as well deconstruct all this. Otherwise I'll get confused. And build it all 3 or 4 times. Oh, there was bots in that. You can go live in there. It's your home now. I promise Happy Gilmore won't visit. It's actually funny, I saw Happy Gilmore like last month on TV, and I never really thought much of the chronic product placements at the time. Just kind of odd. But nowadays, like the more modern, or the more recent Adam Sandler movies, doesn't quite get away with it like he used to. The product placement's just there and in your face. You're meant to be there. Adam Sandler does the exact same. That's the other problem. And so, like, it worked for Happy Gilmore and what else? To a lesser extent, Big Daddy. That was an alright movie. But yeah, it's the same thing every time. I think it's not so much him personally, it's actually Sony. Not to be confused with Sunny Honey Bunny or Sunny. I forgot the numbers after. Wait a minute. Yeah, you're on the inside, that's why I'm confused. And you're on the outside. There. Okay. They keep on going. Most comedians who star in movies, yeah, that is true too. It's like what happened with the modern Doctor Who series, where none of the actors would ever stay for longer than like 2 years because they didn't want to be typecast as a Doctor Who actor. Okay, that's that. Almost. I haven't actually done this bit yet. You need to go there and there. There we go. Now these are correct. Even though typecasting happened here, yeah. Yeah, I actually suspected most of the trouble with the Adam Sandler movies is really down to Sony more than anything else. Sony Entertainment is really bad at rehashing the same thing over. Anything moderately successful, they'll just keep rehashing it to make money out of it. That's why. There's a whole backstory to why Kesha hasn't been around for a while, putting music out. But that's why she was always doing trashy party songs, because that's what Sony wanted. They wanted trashy summer songs. And every summer, leading into summer, about May, you'll hear a new summer generic female singer singing some summer song, and it'll be like, and eventually now that you know of it, you'll eventually be able to pick it up. Every time you hear it, you'll be like, okay, that's Sony's insert year here summer song. Happens every year. I forgot what last year's was, unfortunately, because it was so unmemorable. So let's do some wiring. You are the special connection for the train controller, so you don't need to go down there. You're probably going to hate me now because you're going to hear it. Unfortunately, I mean fortunately. Well, to some extent, in a way, she is actually... The stuff that she wants to do is actually a lot better than the trashy crap that everyone knows Kesha for. She wants to do more wholesome stuff, but she's now stuck typecast as the trashy slut type. What is it? 2003, 2002 Britney Spears? Because that's where it actually comes from. They're trying to... It's the next generation of that 2002 trashy, trailer trash female pop star. That's what happens when you're trying to min-max profits with entertainment. Yeah, that's it. Okay. This actually needs a balance on it too. Kind of. I say kind of, it actually does. I also need to figure out the tiling point. Okay, this is more involved than I thought.